All right, what's up, guys? Hope all is well. Hope you're having an amazing day. And just want to make this YouTube video. I feel like I haven't made one in quite some time. And the reason I'm shirtless is I just got done training legs at my gym right over there. And it's really, really hot. It is July 4th, 2026. So it's the summertime here in Brampton and it's very, very hot. And I don't know, for some odd reason, all of today, I've been feeling very grateful for my current situation or my life right now. And I just been thinking a lot about my story over the last 8 to 12 years, and I think it would be cool just to kind of share my story, because I feel like I've never shared my story or talked about it quite too much, right? And worst case scenario, I could look back at this 5 to 6 years from now, and I think it'd be pretty cool. But yeah, growing up, I always saw my parents working quite a bit, and not quite a bit. They were working all the time, right? Night shifts, owning businesses. Definitely something that's not easy at all, right? Very hard on the body and just mentally as well. And I always saw them working so much, and I never wanted to ever ask them for more. And I don't want to say, my parents weren't doing well. They were doing amazing. And me and my brother got everything and anything we wanted, and even more, right? But I always did see them working quite a bit, so I didn't want to burden them a lot. And I started working pretty young. I was throwing newspapers, in grade 7, grade 8 with my brother, and I got my first factory job, I think, in grade 10 summer when I was 16 years old. And I worked in a bunch of factories. I probably worked in like 8 to 12 factories, and I was making about $9 an hour, right? I think minimum wage at the time was about $11.25 or something. This is back in like 2015 or 2016, right? And I worked through an agency, so they would get a cut. I think they would take about like $2-3 per hour, right? So I definitely wasn't making much at all. And now we're in the position of where we own this gym over here, and we're opening up another gym. In terms of that, after working in factories for a long time, I always wanted to be a cop, but I always wanted to be a cop, but I found out I was colorblind, so I wasn't able to be a cop. And I think that was kind of a very big turning point for me, because I feel like that was the first time I was ever lost, and I didn't really know what the fuck to do with my life. All right, so I was just kind of jumping from one thing to another. I tried accounting in grade 12, and I was like, fuck this, I don't want to do that. And then after somehow, some way, I decided to be an electrician, which I don't really know where that thought kind of came from. I think it was in grade 10, they always tell you to have a backup plan. So I was like, fuck it, worst case scenario, I'll be an electrician. But I already knew like I was going to be a cop, and that was the vision, that was the goal that I had for a very, very long time. And once that didn't happen, I ended up being a cop, right? I ended up being an electrician somehow, somewhere, going to school for that, right? And with that, 1 month into college or trade school, I knew this wasn't for me, but I didn't really have another kind of solution, and I don't really know what I was gonna do. So I was just continued to go to school, finished. I don't even know if I graduated. I didn't even check. I didn't even go to the graduation ceremony or anything. And from there, I started working in landscaping from one of my college buddies, just making cash, $10, hard fucking work in 2018. And I did that, and I was just kind of going through the motions, didn't really know. I started training, and I saw a sign, literally, not just like, I saw an actual sign at Good Life, and it said hiring personal trainers. And I was like, you know what, I enjoy this gym thing, I enjoy this bodybuilding thing, fuck it, let me apply. And I ended up applying, and I got an interview, and holy fuck, that interview, I think I prepped for that interview more than I did in 2 years of college, or I worked harder on that than 2 years of college. And it was crazy how much preparation I put into that. It was absolutely nuts. And I did the interview, and there was 2 managers. So there was a manager, Alan, which is my manager, fitness manager, and there was an assistant fitness manager, which was Stephanie. And I did the interview with them, and Stephanie didn't want to hire me, from what she told me later on. And Alan said, fuck it, we'll give this guy a chance. And Alan gave me the chance, and I think that was a massive turning point in my life, because once I got that position, I worked constantly. I was at the gym for 80, 90 hours a week. Didn't matter if I was getting paid, I was there. Anything they needed, I fucking did it, right? Did not fucking matter. Because when I was there, I kind of saw this as kind of my last chance or my last opportunity, right? To make shit work. Because the cop shit didn't work out, the electrical shit didn't work out. So I was like, fuck it, this PT stuff has to work out. And I was there constantly. And I worked 2.5 years straight every single day up until COVID. And the reason I stopped working every single day is because fucking COVID happened, right? The gym shut down. And I had a hard, 4 or 5 months. A very, very hard 4 or 5 months there. When I first started, I was doing shit. I wasn't getting any clients. It was a massive learning curve to the job. But once I started to get the hang of things, and once I started to figure shit out, it all went up, and I started getting a bunch of clients. Client results were good. And then eventually I got the opportunity to interview for an assistant fitness manager position at that same location. And that was under 6 months of being there, right? So I got the interview, we did it, and I ended up getting the job of becoming an assistant fitness manager. Fast forward, same exact thing. I constantly lived at the gym. I constantly lived at the gym as an assistant fitness manager. I became the top assistant fitness manager in the whole entire company, and then I got promoted to a fitness manager. And once I got promoted to fitness manager of one of the biggest locations at Good Life, which was Mississauga Heartland, things were good and things were going well, right? I don't want to sit here and say things were not good, but I kind of hit the ceiling of the corporate ladder, right? I don't want to say ceiling because I could have gone up to a VP position, but the next jump was 4, 5, 8, maybe 10, 15 years in the future, and I didn't want to fucking wait, right? I think that's one of the worst things you can do, is just work constantly for a company over and over and over and just grind away for maybe having a shot at a position 8 years from now, 10 years from now, right? And that's a long fucking time, right? So to kind of put things in perspective, if I waited 10 years, I would have had the opportunity now, right? So that's a long fucking time. And I kind of decided that, things weren't going to work out. And I was doing well at the job. I had a good team. Everything was good, right? I think I had about 19 trainers underneath me at the time, or 20 trainers. And I decided to quit. Fuck it. Go all in on this online coaching stuff. And when I went all in, it just started to work. Same exact thing, that same exact work ethic, constantly working towards it. 2022, things grew. 2023, things grew even more. And 2024, things just fucking exploded, right? And things absolutely fucking exploded in 2024. And during 2023, 2024, I started talking to Kegs and Ronit quite a bit. We started filming content together. We started doing podcasts for YouTube. And yeah, I had the idea, or we had the idea of like, let's open a gym. I was like, fuck this, I want to compete against the company that I was working with, and I wanted to do my own thing. And coaching was cool, don't get me wrong, but I wanted my own gym. I love fucking training, and I love fucking training. But all the gyms that I worked out at had shit fucking equipment, right? I was driving 40, 50, 60 minutes away to train at good gyms, right? To put things in perspective, I live in Brampton, and I was driving to a gym called Pure Muscle and Fitness in Burlington. Me and my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, Christine, we were driving 1 hour and 10 minutes to train at that gym, right? Which is quite fucking far one way, but it had really good equipment, right? So I kind of got fed up with the situation. There was no good gyms around, and yeah, we talked about it. We had plans for one gym in 2023 August. That fell through. It was a fucking disaster. And then 2024 December, we pulled the trigger and we got fucking boom, that gym right there. And we've been growing it ever since. And it is July 4th, 2026. And about a month ago, we signed for our second gym, which is 5 times the size or 6 times the size of that. And it's 2 minutes away from here, right? And that's gonna fucking explode as well. And I think throughout this whole like process, or this whole kind of like journey, I guess you could say, is two things, right? Two fucking things. I would say three, right? Number one, I always had people like helping me or people mentoring me, right? With Alan, my fitness manager, Diana, which was my divisional manager. They helped me quite a bit, and I was always open to like taking feedback from these people that were always 5 steps, 10 steps, 15 steps ahead of me, right? Number two, I was always willing to like put in the extreme amount of work. I think there's a saying, I don't know who said this, but it's always one thing that resonates with me. It's like, there's two different things, right? What do you need to be successful? A lot of people do what they think is needed to be successful, right? And then there's other people that take action to the point where it's impossible for them to fail, right? And those are two completely different things. So the dumb kind of example that person mentioned in that YouTube video, I don't remember what it was. It's like, if you have a bug in your house, right? Sure, you could hire an exterminator, you could put a bunch of traps and everything, right? And that bug will probably get caught or go away. Or you could fucking blow up your house, right? And it's impossible that the bug won't die, right? So yeah, I always took that level of action, and that helped me quite a bit, right? Not quite a bit, it helped me a lot, right? A lot, man. And I think the last thing, which is really hard for a lot of people, I don't know why, and I want to say I'm lucky that I have kind of this skill or this mindset, is just hopeful. For some odd reason, I always knew like things would work out, and I always knew that I would get there, or I would get where I wanted to be, but I didn't know how. Like the how was the missing part, right? And the timeline was missing, but I always knew I would get there. And I think a lot of the times, you know, people, they have the plan, right? But when things go wrong, they're not hopeful, and they just can't seem to like push through, right? And there's gonna be a lot of fucking hard days. Holy fuck. I don't even think a lot is the correct saying. Yeah, there's gonna be an unlimited amount of bad days, right? And things are always gonna happen. And one of the things I talk about quite a bit is like problem solution cycle. It's like every time you find a solution to something, then a problem will come up, and then when that problem comes up, you need to find the solution, and it's just constantly ever going, right, for your whole entire life. So I think a lot of people get fed up with that, and they just kind of give up. But for me, I'm always just very hopeful that shit will work out. And I think a little bit of that is from like my confidence that I've built over the years, where, you know, I've done a lot of these bullshit fucking jobs, and that's kind of given me the grit or the mindset to go through factory jobs, you know, working in warehouses, you know, unloading trailers, wrapping skids, right? And doing the stuff, you know, pulling weeds, right? Trimming grass, fucking digging holes for fences and shit. When I was doing landscaping, interlocking, all this fucking bullshit, right? So I think that's given me the grit. And then the confidence, I think, came from a lot from the training, like competing in my first bodybuilding show and losing a lot of fucking weight, 66 pounds in 6 months, and getting absolutely shredded. So I think that's where the confidence came from. And then also from grade 12, like in grade 12, I started trying, and my average in high school was, you know, from grade 9 to grade 11 was about 59, 61. And grade 12, I just started to truly try because it was university, right? And I had to be a cop, so I started to genuinely try, and I put in a lot of time and effort into my education, and I graduated with honors, like an 84 average. And I think that kind of flipped a switch in my brain, because I realized all these kids that were getting, you know, 80s or 90s or 95s, yes, they were a little bit smart, but they weren't actually fucking smart. They were just putting more time and effort into studying, more time and effort into their assignments, right? Whereas I was going home, I was playing fucking Call of Duty for 6-7 hours a day. So I think that's where I truly started to understand where it's like, it's just an effort issue. Yes, obviously a little bit of that is your IQ and how smart you are, but I think for 90% of the people out there, it's gonna be just an effort, right? Issue. But yeah, that's kind of my story. That's kind of my story, how we got to here, right? Yeah, it is July 4th. We're planning on opening the second gym in September. I don't know if that deadline's gonna happen, like I mentioned before, problem solution cycle. Shit will come up and things will get pushed back. But yeah, man, it's been a long fucking 8 to 12 years. Been a long fucking 8 to 12 years. And the gym is not even made yet. And I've been running around telling everyone that it's gonna be one of the best gyms. And it's gonna be fucking sick. And I'm just very confident and very hopeful that everything's gonna work out. And that's kind of the shit that got me here. So I need to fucking continue to stay on that boat. But yeah, it's been long. You gotta have grit, you gotta stay hopeful, and you gotta be willing to put in the work, right? And eventually, if you do all those things for a long enough period of time, you'll fucking make it happen. But yeah, that's how we went from, you know, working these bullshit fucking jobs for $9 an hour, $8 an hour, $10 an hour, pulling weeds, doing concrete, interlocking, factory work, wrapping skids, to you know, having an online coaching business, having this gym over here, boom, right there, and then opening a second gym. So if you count all three of those, it'll be 3 businesses, and all of that stuff was done in the last decade, right? So you could do it. You just gotta lock in. You gotta be willing to put in the time and effort, and you can make it happen. And yeah, that's gonna be the video. But I don't know if you guys watched it all the way through. Extremely grateful for where I am, and I thought I'd just document this. Worst case scenario, I just watched this video back 10 years from now, and it'll be really fucking cool. It'll be really, really fucking cool to kind of see where we are 10 years. I'm fucking excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for end of this year. I'm excited for next year, the future, and where everything's headed, right? Like, yeah, man, fucking year after year, things just get like better and better and better. And yeah, just very blessed to be in the position I'm in, and very grateful. Thank you. Until next time, appreciate you guys. Let me know, drop a comment if you watched it thus far. Thank you. Make it happen, baby.